In the quiet moments, when the world seems indifferent and your efforts feel invisible, a simple cutting phrase echoes in your mind. No one cares. Work harder. It's blunt, it's raw, and for many it's a wake up call. But what does it really mean? How should we interpret this message and how can it propel us forward instead of pushing us down? At its core, no one cares. Work harder is not about dismissing your feelings or struggles. It's not about negating the importance of self care, support, or community. Instead, it challenges us to look inward, to find a source of motivation that's independent of external validation. In a world buzzing with social media likes, fleeting praise, and constant comparison, it's easy to fall into the trap of working only for recognition, of measuring your worth by how loudly the crowd cheers. But applause is fickle. Sometimes, despite your best efforts, it simply doesn't come. So, what happens then? Do you stop? Do you slow down, waiting for someone to notice, to care, to lift you up? Or do you press on, driven by a deeper purpose, one that doesn't rely on the attention or approval of others? This is where the real power of the phrase emerges. No one cares. Work harder is a call to self-reliance. It's a reminder that your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, they belong to you. The responsibility for bringing them to life rests primarily on your shoulders. Yes, support networks matter. Yes, encouragement is valuable. But ultimately, it's your commitment, your grit, your perseverance that tip the scales. Think about the athletes who train in silence before the world ever sees their victories. Consider the artists who spend years honing their craft, sharing work that may go unnoticed for decades. Reflect on the entrepreneurs who pour countless hours into their ideas, facing rejection after rejection, until finally something clicks. At every stage, there are moments when no one is watching, when no one seems to care, and yet they persist. Why? Because the drive comes from within, because the work means something, even if it's only to themselves, because progress, mastery, and achievement are their own rewards. Now, that's not to say you should ignore fatigue or push yourself to the point of burnout. Working harder is not about mindless hustle or reckless self-sacrifice. It's about resilience. It's about choosing to move forward when the path is lonely, when the climb is steep, and when praise is nowhere to be found. It's about understanding that true growth often happens in the shadows, long before the spotlight finds you. So how can you embrace this mindset in your own life? Start by clarifying your why. What fuels you? What do you want to achieve? And why does it matter to you? The clearer your purpose, the less you'll depend on others for motivation. Your journey becomes personal, meaningful, and self-sustaining. Next, set your own standards of excellence. Don't let external recognition be your only measure of success. Instead, ask yourself, am I improving? Am I learning? Am I giving my best effort, regardless of whether anyone notices? Progress is often incremental and invisible, especially in the beginning. Celebrate your own milestones, however small they may seem. Embrace the process. Growth is rarely glamorous. It's built on repetition, discipline, and the willingness to show up day after day, even when no one is watching. The work you do in private, away from the spotlight, is often the most important. That's where skills are forged, character is built, and dreams begin to take shape. Build resilience against setbacks. When things go wrong, and they inevitably will, it's easy to feel overlooked or unappreciated. Instead of spiraling into self-doubt, use these moments as fuel. Let adversity sharpen your resolve. Remember, every great achievement has its roots in failure, frustration, and moments of obscurity. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you, but don't rely solely on their validation. Seek feedback, but don't let it dictate your self-worth. Support is valuable, but independence is essential. Learn to be your own biggest supporter. Finally, understand that caring is a two-way street. While the phrase, "no one cares," sounds harsh, it's not always true. There are people who care. Friends, mentors, family members, but they can't do the work for you. Their support is a bonus, not a foundation. The real drive must come from within. Perhaps the most important lesson is this. Your journey is yours alone. The world is vast and busy, and most people are focused on their own paths. This isn't a reason to despair, it's a reason to press on. Your commitment to your goals, your willingness to work harder when no one is watching, is what sets you apart. In the end, no one cares. Work harder is less of a rebuke and more of a challenge. It's a call to rise above the need for constant validation, to cultivate a work ethic that's rooted in personal pride and purpose. It's an invitation to become the kind of person who keeps moving forward, regardless of who's paying attention. So, the next time you find yourself discouraged, waiting for someone to notice your efforts or appreciate your struggle, remember the most important person who needs to care is you. Your dreams are worth the effort, your goals are worth the grind. And while the world may not always applaud, your progress is real, your growth is meaningful, and your persistence will pay off. Work harder, not because no one cares, but because you do, because you know what you're capable of, and you're willing to put in the work to prove it, first to yourself, and eventually to the world. In time, the results will speak for themselves, and when they do, you'll know that you earned every bit of it. Not for attention, not for praise, but for the satisfaction of knowing you never gave up.